Morning! Right, it is our wider curriculum, and like I've said this week, we would have been looking at London over kind of a couple of weeks in June and then on to our London trip. Fortunately, we've not been able to do that for obvious reasons, but one of the things we would have looked at in preparation for the trip, and a life skill, because many of us will go to London for whatever reason, is how to use the underground system, okay? So a lot of you might have been to London and know what I'm talking about. Some of you might not. Basically, the underground tube system are electric powered trams that travel through tunnels underground, and they come hurtling through the stations, stop, you get on, and you're off again, okay? And they're every couple of minutes. So when you're trying to get it, your map looks like that, which puts tourists off, which puts a lot of people off, because it looks absolutely ludicrous, okay? Now, this isn't exactly what it looks like underground, but they've put it onto a map. There's not a perfect curve. There's actually a map somewhere. I've tried to find it, but I can't find it, where it puts the tube map on top of a London map, and it's so interesting. It stretches so far. There are hundreds of miles of underground train tracks and tunnels under London, and with the majority of them being started in the Victorian times. So some of the major ones in the centre date back to the Victorians. So Victorians, dug tunnels underground and put electric trains under there. We're talking very much like the late 1800s here, but it's incredible to think. Today, you've got a task, and it is here. So, I like these. Now, this is off Twinkle, which is a website that you can get lots of different teaching things off. I don't always use it. I use it for I've used it for some of the do nows, but I really like this. So, you've got lots of scenarios. So you're at somewhere, you need to get to somewhere else. Proper life things. You're at this place. Which line would you take to get to this one? But then as you go down, you've got questions like, you're at a place, you want to get to there, where would you change? Now, to understand any of this, you need to understand the underground map. And on Twinkle, they've given you kind of a slimmed down version. It's exactly the same, there's nothing that's changed. You're just looking at the centre part of it. So on the proper one, you've got these go off further. But you're kind of looking at the City of London area, main area. So you've got the river running here, but it doesn't mean everything's to the north there. But it's a bit higgledy-piggledy. You've got parks in there. But each colour represents a different line. Brilliant in the world of a colourblind person. If you go to Spain and if you go to Paris in France, they're numbered, which is a lot easier. So thank you, London, for that one. So it can be a bit tricky for me to work out. The Central and District and Bakerloo are quite hard ones for me. Those two look pretty much the same, along with the Jubilee. So yeah, not great. But I'll just point at the lines. So basically, what happens here is we'll focus on one line. So each colour is a different tube line. Okay? So you've got this one here, that one running through the middle. That's the central. I know that because it runs through the centre. And it makes a lot of sense. So, these circles, big circles, show you that there's an interchange. So there's a change internally. So you can get off and get onto another one. So for example, if you look at that one there, that was a bit of an easy one. You've got this line running through, you've got the district and circle, and you can get off and you can change, and that one's the Victoria line. That's the Victoria stop, Victoria station. So if you're on this one and get to Victoria, you can get off and you can get on that one. Okay, so wherever there's a big white circle, and that goes for the actual one. Look, the actual one, there are white circles. That's where you can change. The only other thing you need to know is you need to work out which way you go. And it's just like when you use a train timetable a few weeks back. So if you're at Shepherd's Bush and you want to get to Oxford Circus, you need to make sure that the next stop is Holland Park. So if you want to get to Holland Park, you need to make sure that the train one of the destinations is further along that way. Otherwise, you're going to go the wrong way. Okay. So I'll go through the first couple of questions. So you're at Waterloo. What line do you take to get to Monument? So the first thing you need to do is find Waterloo. Now, if you know London, you'll be able to look. If you've used the tube, you'll be able to look really quickly. Part of this task is actually searching for the stations. Luckily, I have an awareness of London because I've been quite a few times. He says that. There we go. So Waterloo is there. And where did I want to get to? I want to get to Monument. Okay. So Waterloo is here, and I want to get to Monument. So Monument is... And this is what you're going to find. You're going to find that you need to find and hunt, a bit like Where's Wally? Now, I thought I knew where Monument was. Probably some of you are staring at this right now going, "It's there, Mr. Cooper, it's there, Mr. Cooper." But my morning eyes cannot see where it is. Which is very annoying because I go to London quite a lot. Bizarre. Generally, there it is. So, sorry for that. So, you want to get to you're at Waterloo. You want to get to Monument. Which line will you take? Now remember, these white circles mean that in Waterloo there are actually 3 lines. You've got the black one, which is the northern. You've got this one here, which is, I can't quite tell with my colour blindness, I think the Bakerloo line. And you've got this one here, which I also can't tell. Got no chance of that one. Could be 1 or 3 for me. So, how do you get to Monument? Well, looking at it, there's only really one that goes kind of east to west. And that's this one here. Okay? So, whichever colour that one is, will be how you get there. Okay? And then you can just keep looking through the answers. I do like using the Underground. I think it's the quickest way around London. And once you understand the map, the simplest. Okay? We'd have done this in class, and then when we gone to London, we will get to the tube station whenever we use it, and I would have said to the small group I have, right, where are we going? I know, like, no, I'll give you the destination, but how do we get there? Which platform do we go on? And every time I've done it, the children have been able to go, right, yeah, we need to go this way, it's southbound, we go down here, we get off at this stop. Once you've experienced it, it's fine. So I think if anyone's going to go to London, obviously maybe not in the next couple of weeks, have a go. Say, guys, can I try and work out which way we need to go? I'll pick another one. You're at Camden Town. Which lines would you take to get to Southwark? So you're at Camden Town. So you'd find Camden Town, which is up here. And you want to get to Southwark, which is all the way down here. So, which lines would you take? Well, it's clear you're going to take the northern, because you need to go north-south. You need to go south. So you take the northern. Then you change at Waterloo. And you get off, and you get onto that line. Okay? So, I'm not going to go through all the answers. I will be here all day. But have a look, have a go. Might be some people in your house who know how to use the tube, so answer the questions. Get them to talk about it a bit more with you as well. And see how you get on. The final thing for this lesson would be, right, we're going to go to London. We're going to try this out. So, you know, this is a life... It sounds silly, but it's a life skill. Understanding the tube map and using it, okay? So, good luck with that. Enjoy.